Twitch, Stephen Boss, who lost his life to suicide, and Aaron Carter also. And those are just the 3 that we heard about. So think about these 3 that we've heard about. Think about how many people we don't hear about. So we need to acknowledge that this is a problem. This is a huge problem. We need to start talking about it. So facilitating the conversation. So asking is important. It's uncomfortable, but if you feel like you have someone who in your life who is struggling, asking them, what is your pain like? Do you ever have thoughts that you may not wish you were here anymore? Facilitating those conversations. I was lucky enough to have a mom and a best friend who checked in on me. They asked me those questions, and from my experience, because I work in mental health, I always had a backup plan. I always had what you call a crisis plan. If things got worse, I knew exactly what to do, but people don't always have this, so we need to help them. Okay, so it's our job in supporting these people to ask these questions. Okay, along with that, I think it's very, very, very problematic to put all of the onus on the person that is struggling. Yes, if they're struggling, they need to be willing to reach out for help. They need to be willing to accept support. However, to say, and I've seen this in posts on Instagram regarding Twitch, to say beggingly to please let us know, please don't leave us, that is stigmatizing, that is shaming a person, and I personally don't believe that's the right approach. Like, you're in so much pain, it's a dichotomy here. You're in so much pain. It doesn't mean that you don't care about your loved ones. It doesn't mean that you don't want things to improve. You're just at that point where you cannot see things improving, and it's a scary place to be, and I wish this experience on no one. Okay, so not putting all the onus on that person. Let's all have those conversations. Are you struggling? What is your experience? How can we help? Sometimes they don't know how you can help. Just be there, support them, listen. Ask the question, are you safe? Do you need me to stay with you? Are you experiencing thoughts that you would die? Would you ever act on these thoughts? Do you have a way out? All of these types of conversations, and there's lots of resources where people can learn how to better have these conversations and facilitate it. So let's have these conversations. Let's make sure that we're all normalizing this experience. And I'm not sitting here saying that in anxiety and depression, suicidal ideation and suicidal thoughts are everything, okay? They experience their experience in different types of illness. I'm sure they're experienced in physical illness when people are in so much excruciating pain or suffering. They're experiencing more in different types of mental illness, OCD, schizophrenia. So for my experience, this was an experience. This was a time in my life, and I don't need people to sit here and be like, Haley is always on risk, target, and I thank people for doing that. However, where I'm at right now, where I'm at in my healing journey and my happiness, I'm not at risk. I don't have those thoughts because I'm well. But we need to understand that some people have chronic thoughts that they wish they were dead. This is ongoing. A lot of my clients experience this, and it's very sad. So this needs to be a continuous conversation. So knowing the difference, what is your loved one struggling with? Are they hearing voices that are telling them to hurt themselves? Are they just in such a severe chronic depression that they always have this passive thought in the back of their mind? And you know what? Sometimes it's just a passive thought. Other times it progresses into something more. So we need to facilitate these conversations. And there's lots of resources, so I'm gonna talk about a couple. Reach Out in London is a crisis line, 24/7, anonymous through CMHA, where you can talk to someone. So have that on your fridge. Share it with your loved ones. Share it with your teenagers. Let's talk about this. There's the Crisis Center on Huron Street through CMHA as well, 24/7 again. And sometimes they even facilitate rides there. So people will drive them if they're not even in the space to get them to a place. You can always go to the hospital if it's very severe. Kids Help Home, you can talk to those people. Let's use our resources we already have in place. Family doctor, they're a person who have connections, they have resources, they can start you on the right path. If you're in school, there might be a psychologist or a social worker. You have support workers, disability supports. When I was at university, I reached out to the supports in place, and they connected me with resources. So those are just some of them. There's therapy. BetterHelp.com is more affordable. If you have benefits through work or you're at a large organization, there's employee and family support program through sometimes it's through Homewood, where you can connect with a counselor or someone specialized in mood and anxiety. So there are resources. Let's continue to share those resources. Let's continue to know, if it were to happen, where do we go? Who do we reach out to? How do we know the signs? That might be something else we talk about, the signs. So if a person is depressed, some of the signs are loss of pleasure in their activities that they may not have. No motivation, no energy. They want to sleep. They're just in so much pain, and it is real pain. It hurts just as bad as an injury. And just saying like, be positive or it'll all get better. You're so deep in that pain that eventually you might believe those things, but it's not the Band-Aid solution. So look for those signs. Ask the question. Learn how to ask the question. And let's create a community. Let's be there for everyone, because everyone deserves a happy and a supported life. And these tragedies we've been experiencing, we need to decrease how much and help save these people, help them heal, help them recover. And if anyone on here listening is struggling, please reach out to whoever. Find that one person that you trust, family, friend, community support. You can reach out to me. I will always listen. I work in mental health, so this is what I deal with on a daily basis. But you're not alone, and you don't have to be. So I hope that this video was informative and it helps. And again, if people want to hear more about my specific mental health experience, I can share that. But this is my way to try to help and serve the community, and my focus for 2023 is to continue to have these conversations, to continue to learn, to continue to share, and make meaning out of this, because these are tragedies. They are pure tragedies, and they affect so many people, and we don't want them to continue to happen if they don't have to. Okay? So RIP to all those people who lost their lives to suicide. And I say lost their lives because it's an illness. Committed is punitive, and puts the onus, it's an illness. So they're struggling. And so that's all I have to say. Thank you for listening. Happy New Year. Hope 2023 is better. If you are struggling, that's okay. There's a lot of people struggling, and you will get through this. Let's all get through this together. Okay.